quick pit stop at the animal shelter. Always got to check in on all the little cats and kittens running around in there, especially since it's on the way. Right? If it's on the way to the gym, why not take a little stop? Right? I mean, if you're gonna pet your freaking dog when you're at home, you know that these guys deserve some love too. But no, so quick, well, not quick, but finally get some fancy ass Sam shaker cups. We have been working on this for a little while, so we went over, we got Helimix to make this real fancy mold to actually have it like have the logo kind of embossed in the plastic instead of just like a little sticker, just so it's a little more kind of rugged. And I've been running thin. I wouldn't want to show you, but my whole passenger side just has a bunch of empty, like, random ass smart water bottles that I've been using for the pre. Not cool. Simply just making a freaking mess. So yeah, we got those in kind of a darkish gray, blue, and a red. So on the whole site, we're running a sale, which it should be set up by now. I got to make sure it's working with the team, where it's with one shaker cup, one other item is 25% off. I think that's what we ended up sorting out. But I want to add some kind of like, I don't know, I want to do some kind of like giveaway, because we only got like a couple thousand of the shaker cups, so it'd be pretty easy to tie in like kind of golden ticket style, like some shit where it's got, I don't know, it's got some kind of something. I can't think of something that'd be good, or, you know, it'd be cool, but if you got any ideas, I would love to hear them. We can do a little I was about to say mob mentality. That's not, no, more like a little bit of a democratic thing, because it's like, what the hell am I supposed to do trying to figure out what a cool prize would be instead of just ask, right? So if you've got any ideas on something that'd be cool, yeah. And don't say the old Cowboy Bebop hat. That thing is hung up for the freaking record books. But yeah, if you got any ideas, I will be scanning below, looking around, because those are just fun, a little cooler, more interesting. But plan for today: arms, pump these things up. I'm talking tris, bis, and I might even add a little bit of forearms in the mix as well. But yeah, I'd say feels good right now. Feel good being in kind of the full swing of putting some extra beef on, not getting too soft, you know, nice and a good little middle ground. You know, I've never really, and this is with anything, this is with dieting down, this is with bulking up. A lot of times I see this as a motivator. Guys are like, oh dude, you know, I look like shit, I gotta lift. It's like, okay, are you joking? And then some of these guys actually look good. Like, you're a big ass dude already. You're gonna say you look like shit and that's your motivation to work out? It just doesn't make any sense. Like, let's be objective here. You can look solid and still want to make progress, right? You shouldn't feel as though you need to explain why you want to work out or why you want to get a little bit bigger or anything like that, because you just want to do it and that's your thing. And the pursuit of it is fun enough that it doesn't need any other explanation, right? But yeah, so for me, it's always just, yeah, man, I can get a little bigger. I want to see what that's going to be like. And just as another kind of reiteration, I've said this before, eventually there will be a point where I say this is good. I'll say this is a nice size, let's stay here for a while. I'm not there yet, but I'm definitely getting closer. I feel like every time I bring it up, I'm definitely more than halfway to what I'm aiming for. And then by the time I get to it, I guess I'll have to change goals and pivot and try to work on something else. You know, I probably would not foresee, I guess I couldn't tell. That's going to be far, 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 far off into the freaking future. But rather than you know, freak myself out trying to think about that, let's just try to hone in on the actual task at hand. So I definitely, I'm not sure. Last arm day I did real heavy push downs and was a little more tri biased rather than bicep biased. So maybe I want to balance it out, do a little lighter work today tricep wise, more, you know, squeezing, pumpish, and then maybe go a little heavier on bis. You know, we'll just have to see. But yeah, I'll be real though, my last bicep workout or the bicep portion of my last arm workout, not awesome. It was not really a good lift. Like, I don't even remember what I did. I think I was doing I remember I did preacher curls. What did I do? I was doing preachers. Oh yeah, I was doing preachers, and I was doing bicep bias pull downs. Those were the two movements, and it was just, they were not clicking. I made two bad movement choices in a row, which is that's where you got a problem. You know how it's like, fool me once, shame on you; fool me twice, shame on me. If I pick a movement and it doesn't really work, I'm not really feeling it all that well, then it's my responsibility, if I want to have a good lift, to change it up and pick a better movement that I know I am going to like, and switch to there. So if I hit two in a row, unlucky for me. So that'll be half of my motivation for today, is to bring it and give myself some damn arm redemption, and then we can go from there. But yeah, haven't busted out the tape measure in a while. I think it's still in there. Actually, I might have left it in the private gym. Oh, yeah, I'll see. Well, either way, I'll figure it out. But whether it says 19, whether it says 20, whether it says anything, if you're pumped, you're pumped, and nothing can take away from that. So I think nothing else to discuss. Let's just get in there and get started. The rope will be a perfect start. Heavy, but not 2 plates added to the stack. Heavy, right in that middle ground. With some Sprite lead playing, this will be perfect. All right. Okay. Oh my goodness, all right. 1 or 2 more. Yeah, it took me a while to get it, but I get so much long head activation now from doing these actually in a good range of motion. Never going back to my silly reps like before. Yeah. Yeah. No. 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 Yeah. Okay. Oh, goodness. Okay, 1 more. Yeah. Okay. Oh my God. Okay, let's move on. Not sure what to yet though. Let's just do 1 set of skull crushers. Or actually, I think this is called a French press when you do it on an incline. But just the 1. If I do too much, I'm just gonna hurt myself. But it is a good movement, so more of a 1 and done situation. All right, come on. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh. Yeah. A little too much on the elbows to do one more. Good set though. 2 stacks at freaking once. Let's go nuts here. And honestly, I really like this setup in general. Not for the fact that I can do, you know, a bit more weight than a regular stack, but every time you do heavy tricep extensions, you want to, you know, lean forward and really get into it so you can put your weight into it. Because if you have to lean back, then it's kind of this weird, like, rotating action. You know, it just kind of sucks. Or you got to stick your head to one side or the other, and now that's probably going to give you a weird little imbalance. There's just no way around it. But this is perfect because the cables come together from the side, so I can lean right over the front of it. You know, kind of, it's a little freaky because, you know, if you like let go, you might guillotine yourself. So, you know, use your best judgment, be careful. But honestly, I wish there was more dedicated tricep pushdown machines like this with the 2-sided loading, so that you don't have to worry about leaning back and forth, and you can really put your body weight into it. You know, because if you start getting strong triceps, I mean, I've gotten to the point where if and it's too heavy, like this is a little stupid, but it'll be those really heavy tricep pushdown setups, you know, where it's like a direct connection from the cable to the weight. There's no extra pulleys doing any pulley magic, and you know, I'll slap like a plate or something on the side, and I'm like picking myself up off the ground because it's so heavy. So that's one benefit of getting bigger. You'll be able to lift more weights because the weights won't pull you up off the freaking ground. But give me a moment to get in the zone here, because I want these next few sets here to be nuts in a good way. It's a promiscuous with Timberland. Okay. Oh, okay. A few more. And these feel freaking good today. Just really, just as many times as I can do 10. And I can do at least 10. I just want to do one more. Now, is there a scientific, logical reason behind that? No. Right? But I'm saying if I know I got more in the tank, I want to get it done. Right? It's like I'm a damn rocket ship going to space. Rocket ship's the only fuel in the tank. That whole thing gets emptied out so they can reach escape velocity and get out, you know, get up there. So that's my plan here. Not a Prius. I'm not trying to conserve gas. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. I think one more will actually be good. I'm at the cusp of feeling like I've done enough. So if the next one's good, move on to curls. Yeah. 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 Okay. All right, let's make this a rest pause set. Okay. Okay, one more. Okay. All right, that's enough. Let's start curling. Holy crap. There's always trends every year. It's just a different thing. But all right, let's get some cable curls started. Very squeeze focused, that's for sure. Okay. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Oh, God. So, a 70 is missing, and a 75 is missing. And I'm not so strong I can do the 80s. That's, well, not a good way. All right, so let's just stick with the 65s and not go too heavy. Keep it within reason. All right. All right. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. Oh, one more of those. Yeah. Okay, oh, that's enough. Oh, goodness. Okay, this will be a good finisher. Alternating 5 reps on curls. And this is light-ish. So the real tricky part is, you know, once I do, 10, 15, 20 reps, and it's really starting to burn, and my mind-muscle connection's no longer really firing, I can't really even freaking move, that's the hard part. So really the first, 10, 15 reps, do them good, but the purpose of them is just to get myself fatigued enough so the last few, where the gold is, are really hitting. If I just did 10 reps here and dropped it and left, I think this set would have been meaningless, right? It's like walking 5 feet to the kitchen. That's not cardio. You got to do it enough to actually induce an effect. But if this is good, this will be it. And if not, then just do one more. I gotta hold on to one at a time. Okay, one more. Okay. Oh, that's enough. Let's see how arms are looking. All right. Little pumpless check today. Or I guess pump checkless? When you say pump check as one word, pumpless checkless? Well, either way, you don't need a pump check every time. Because I kind of want to see noticeable changes lift by lift by lift. The craziest thing I did, I've said this a couple times, just about, well, this would have been 4 years ago now, maybe? Almost 4 at least. Maybe 3. I don't know. But it was my sophomore year when I did a really big bulk. And for the whole 4 or 5 months or however long I was bulking for, no pump checks at all. Long sleeves, pants only, nothing to look at. Because I wanted to see a change by the time that I was done with it. I wanted to say, all right, I want to look at myself and say, holy crap, I got bigger. Rather than, just see it, on a day-by-day, slow sort of scale. Which, dieting down aspect, I feel is actually much cooler than the getting bigger aspect. Especially after a while, Because obviously, if you're a beginner, our first 6 months of working out, that's a pretty drastic change without a lot of body fat gain. But, when you get into all sorts of, like, just getting leaner over the course of time and losing pounds of body fat, that can be pretty abrupt, So that's where, if you're actually losing weight every morning, then I might only do a pump check once a week, right? Because then I'll actually have a visual change while I know that my weight is going down, so I've got confirmation what I'm doing is working, and then going from there. You know what I'm saying? So it's worth thinking about, right? Because obviously, a watched pot never boils, So just work out and wait. That's half of it, Because, I think I was talking about this on the way here. Sometimes I get my car talks mixed up with ones that I've had before. But, no. I'm talking... Actually, what the hell was I about to say? I was about to say something. What the hell? Well, either way. Now that's my cue. I'm running low on glycogen, and I got to get some food into my system. But no. I was kind of getting into. It's like if you're really just working out for a specific end goal, like you want to be the same size as this guy, or you want to lift the same weight as whoever, and you're like, okay, once I can do that, then everything in my whole life will be perfect. You're fooling yourself. You're fooling yourself just a little bit. Now, that can be kind of an endless turmoil where you're always, searching and grasping. You never feel like you have enough, and then it's just a negative mentality because your whole workout is like, fuck, I'm not where I want to be. Or you're taking out your frustration of the weights, which if it works, it works. I'm not one to say otherwise. If you're making gains, I don't care how you made them. If you made them, they're yours. You got them. You're good. you know. But for me, at least, I don't want to come into the gym feeling like I'm having a damn frustration match. Like I'm just fucking pissed at every set I'm doing, you know, and I never feel like I'm enough. I don't think that's the answer. But of course, there is somewhere in a middle ground, because you do want to tell yourself that you want to work on something and progress, but not maybe so much because you feel like you're missing something or you're maybe in some way inadequate, but just because you want to do it and you know you're capable of doing it. You know, it's just a middle ground. That's where the gym gets a lot of hate, and sometimes justfully so, because, you know, so many, even just younger dudes, you know, they're not talking about the gym like it's just a fun thing to do and it's, you know, something that they enjoy to have in their daily routine. They're talking about it, dude, gym or nothing. Get pumped or nothing. You don't work out? You know, I'll drop some F-bombs, but that's a little bit too abrupt, you know. And they're like, don't forget it, man. You know, there's more to life. Like there is. That might seem kind of silly coming from me because obviously the gym is my whole thing, but like, don't forget the gym is supposed to kind of just be an activity of the day. And let's say you work out for an hour and a half. You know, let's say you've got an hour and a half dedicated. You park, you walk in, you leave. It's been 90 minutes, maybe 100. You know, whatever, hour 40. That's just your own time. Work out, get after it, enjoy it, come home and kind of reap the rewards of what you got to do there. But, you know, don't, if it starts to take away, if it starts to make you anxious, if it starts to just kind of maybe eat at you in some sort of way, then the problem isn't the gym. The problem might potentially just be, you know, how you're going about it. And I don't think this is like crazy common, but I've heard some crazy shit that some kids will tell me. And I say kids, I mean like teenagers, whatever. Especially when I was working out at in college, because I'd be going to gyms and everybody was just a lot younger. I mean, I'd hear some crazy stuff. Like these guys are saying, like, you know, every set I'm doing, I need to convince myself that if I can't get this rep, then I'm a loser. Like I don't even deserve to be alive. And I'm like, okay, man, this is getting a little wild here. You know, I'm not gonna knock him for, you know, what he's doing, but hitting a set of squats to failure, that should just be kind of, I mean, that's just me. You know, now we're talking conjecture. This is simply opinion, right? But that's kind of my thoughts on the matter. So plan for tonight: grub freaking hard, and then get ready for legs tomorrow. So I can't tell if my quads are still sore from the hip press from last leg day, but assuming that my quads are fresh, you know, come tomorrow, then they are, well, let's just say that they're on the chopping block, to put it lightly. Goodness. So I think that's all I got there. I'll see you tomorrow for what I hope to be some nasty ass freaking legs.